Hello and welcome to an episode of Pastor Remo, the TV show podcast for CBC. I'm Joe, and over there, my partner in podcast arms, as I like to say, is Mitch.
What's up?
So you can follow us on Twitter, Halftime Joe for me, Mitch692 for him. Of course, if you see the lovely layout we have on YouTube, which I always recommend to check out. I haven't recommended in a while because it has been a while if you're listening to this. But we have everything you need, like we have our Twitter handles on there, so you don't necessarily,
Mine also applies to Vero. I'm pimping that.
Me too. That is definitely a thing. That apparently, if you get a free one, when it's all paid for, you don't have to pay for it. Something like that.
If you are part of the first 1 million accounts on Vero, you will have a free lifetime account.
I hope that's me. I made one a while back ago, but I really hope that's me. I'm not entirely sure. So before we get into everything, big news off the bat. I just want to say all the shows should be back this week. We're gonna also post it most likely on Twitter and any of the social medias of when it's gonna come back basically. So expect the film podcast, Book the Ticket, Tuesday. That's most likely moving to Tuesday. The gaming one is moving to Wednesday. Main show on Thursday. Comic show off the page on Friday, because I know people have been asking for that one specifically.
Christ.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But
we'll get to that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll get to that for sure. It's coming back, and I know I might have said that 2 months ago when we did Pastor Remote, and
I've said that near enough every day for like a month and a half.
Yeah. But for sure, it is coming back. If you want to know more info and stuff like that, of course, follow us on the various social medias. I always say just search us, Comic Book Cast, on all of them: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you'll find us. Patreon, of course.
You can find us on the Comic Book Cast Twitter. We're all there.
Yeah. Of course, if you just look at the YouTube About section, like you'll see all the links right there. So it'll be pretty good. And I think that's gonna be it for big news. To let you all know. Of course, we're gonna be talking about The Gifted today, as you can tell. By like the layout if you're seeing the YouTube video, but that's mostly because the Olympics, no TV.
I'll say it's all kind of worked out okay.
Yeah.
Like, The Gifted finished the week of the last show we done, and then there was nothing for 3 weeks, so it's kind of...
Yeah. Basically.
The stars align.
Yeah, so with that, I feel like we should just get started and just get back into this. The best way to podcast again is just to do it.
Stop the bullshit, Joe. We can't have bullshit at the start.
That is true. People did say that. So, all right.
We are news robots. Go.
Starting off with the first piece of news. And robots, as Mitch was talking about. Krypton teaser reveals Brainiac. And it is
very good.
Damn good Brainiac,
It looks really good. I know it's a different character on the other shows, but it makes that Brainiac 5 look hilarious. Even more hilarious than it already does.
Yeah, you're talking about the one on Supergirl, right?
Yeah, Supergirl. Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah.
I guess it even makes Smallville kind of look bad, because I love Smallville, but Smallville, the Brainiac was really just a person. Yeah, it was just an actor.
Was it like just a hoodie?
No, it was literally just a person. There was nothing, there's no makeup or anything like that, if I remember correctly. It might have been like he was a robot, but it was literally just the actor's face. It wasn't this good looking. Looking at the suit, this looks like straight out of the comics, dude. Really.
It is.
Injustice.
I worry about how, budget.
Yeah.
Because this is all CGI, isn't it?
If it's 10 episodes. No, it looks makeup. Look at that.
I think you'll find it might be CGI.
Really? You think that picture they showed us?
I think he might be going. I don't know. In my head, I'm certain I've read somewhere that said he's going to be CGI. Yeah. If it's makeup, fantastic. If it's CGI,
yeah.
Hopefully it lasts. But
look, man,
it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks good, and from the get-go of the show, I was like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. And then I realized it wasn't connected. I was like, oh, I should it be made? But I've definitely come around to this show, especially since, the second trailer. The first trailer was, weird, but the second trailer really did it for me. And I, personally, am looking forward to this. It just looks interesting.
I still don't care.
Well,
This looks great. Fine. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I mean that's okay, and I definitely might. Especially just the first episode, just to see what's up. But I think this might be a show I'll get into just because of how good it looks. Like, you have like other DC characters that are going to be in it. It just feels weird to me because it is one of those things where it's so much in the past, and it's like, oh, but this actually could be really good in that sense because you don't have to focus on like Superman per se, than the typical stuff. This could go kind of different. Of course, Krypton's still gonna explode.
It's way before Superman.
Yeah, so it's even before Jor-El, so it's Jor-El's dad. Yeah. So
is it his dad or is it his granddad?
I think it's his dad, and it's Superman's granddad. Or grandpa. Why did I say granddad? I don't know, I'm turning British.
That's because I said granddad.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Americans say grandpa. But yeah, man, I'm just saying, it looks good to me. You agree it looks good, but you're just not in on the show.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, I haven't watched the trailer. It's not on my radar at all. I haven't watched the recent trailer. I mean, I'll check it out.
It's like this weird... It's not Game of Thrones. Nothing's gonna be Game of Thrones. I think that's the perfect show.
Put it this way, I will say this: if the people want us to talk about it, I will watch it.
Hey,
but, for the sake of doing this, I watched. It's only one episode, but I watched Black Lightning, and I said I was never gonna watch that.
So, if you people want us to talk about Krypton, we will. And if not, I still will.
No, even if you're gonna watch it, I'll give it I'll at least watch
the first episode. Yeah, the first episode.
I'll watch the pilot. I'll form my opinion on it.
I definitely I don't know if I should tell you to watch the trailer because then it might turn you off and you might not even want to watch the pilot. But
I mean, I won't watch the trailer. I'll just watch it when it comes out. When is it coming out?
Let's see. As at this moment, I am looking and. There's no
show is stalling for
date. Yes, but there's no date that I could see at the moment.
Soon.
It's
2018.
Yes, it's 2018, but there's no exact date. Of course, it's sci-fi, which sci-fi's been making some good shows. For a lot of those watching some sci-fi shows, they've been making good shows. So, but okay, here it is. The show's arrival is on Sci-Fi March 21st. Actually, not that far. It's this month.
That was
like next month. Yeah.
Why is everything coming out in March?
Look, I don't know, man. And then you got Legion a little bit after that, so we're gonna have a lot of TV shows to talk about.
You got Jessica Jones next week.
2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yes.
Right, you got Jessica Jones 2 weeks. You got Voltron coming back, and you got something else, and you got Legion. Cloak and Daggers in June. It's all kind of like
man. It's a lot of TV shows that are coming out.
This year is really front loaded for stuff.
Yeah. So. I'm going to say we're going to at least watch the pilot and talk about that, but if you want us to talk about it even more, like if this is a show a lot of you are looking forward to, or...
I will watch the pilot for clicks.
Well, we'll see. We'll get into that. But just definitely, I've been hesitant still just because it is a prequel, and you know my stances on prequel. I think they don't necessarily matter as much, and which doesn't make me care.
Exactly why I've got no interest in it. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, so we'll have to see, I guess. So... what is that? We're going to go on to another piece of news that, honestly, is there a point to this? We'll see. Legends of Tomorrow brings in Jesse Quick. Now, I haven't necessarily been caught up with the Flash.
Just quickly. It's not the same writers as the Flash that do Legends, is it?
I think it's a different one. Why?
Good, because I was going to say, how can you not have two Speedsters on the Flash? Because you can't write two, but you're going to have two on Legends.
Yeah. Right here, it says that she will appear on Legends, and it doesn't say what episode. It really just says she's going to appear, although it's not been revealed why exactly Jesse's being brought onto the show. Wally, of course, just made his debut, yada, yada, yada. So, nothing as much as why or how or when, but we know she will.
She's a coming.
I don't know how I feel about this. I haven't necessarily been keeping up with the Flash because it's just gotten too wacky for me. I think with Elongated Man, I was like, yeah, I like my cheesiness, but I can't with this, so I kind of backed off and haven't.
They really kind of like the clips I've seen of Elongated Man and like the actor. They really went a bit like 80s, 70s, like,
Yeah.
oh, wacky. It's
With
just
the
like,
with the twirling
oh.
mustache, right?
Yeah, it's like I just chipped a molar in the
Look, man,
finish.
I think Supergirl is enough cheese I can handle. Like, that's not even as wacky as the Flash. So Flash got super wacky.
Well, I mean, CW's cheesy watching, isn't it? No.
I mean, Arrow's kind of like a little bit more serious, dramatic.
Yeah, but it's serious cheese.
A little bit. Stephen Amell's my dude. That's the only one I actually watched, like, at least almost all the way.
I was desperate for a cheese pun for Mel's name, and I couldn't think of it. I was like, what's that cheese that sounds like Mel? And I really can't think of it.
Ah, man.
Damn.
But so I know you don't necessarily watch Legends or any of the CW shows, but how do you feel per se about like a character who they just booted off the Flash?
Legends has just become a dumping ground now.
Right, it feels like it, and I kind of. I'm a little bit salty just because the initial premise of Legends sounded so awesome, and then it just become a dumping ground.
It takes away from the name of it.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing was, oh, we need you guys, and it's like, yes, there was that whole like, oh no, that was all bollocks. Like, we don't actually need you. You're just expendable people, which I suppose it doesn't really kind of take away from that, but like it doesn't know. It's just a dumping ground.
See, my thing is, I wish it still would have been a 8-episode miniseries in the middle of when the mid seasons until it comes back, and you have Arrow and Flash on there and Supergirl on there, and you can just like have it be a mission over there in Africa or something. They have to take down this, you know what I mean? It's like, why couldn't it have been that?
Like literally, like, you know, it's to make a comics comparison. It's the Exiles.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it should have been a Justice League show.
Stuff. Yeah,
it should have been a Justice League show, to be honest, and that's what I thought it was going to be.
Maybe not, because Justice League shouldn't be a dumping ground, but
no, but that's not what I meant. I meant like this should have been a Justice League show where this is a show where all the characters that appear in all the shows can come into one like show and hang out / do a mission, and then they go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it should just have one story for each season. It's a different mission, and you know they still haven't done anything. If I remember correctly, I mean they haven't done anything with the Hall of Justice or anything like that. So it's kind of like they tease you so much, but they don't really do anything about it. Like it's I don't know if there's contractual.
To be honest, I know of 2 people that still talk about the show.
Ooh, I don't. But
I don't see any. The only time I see anything of this show is in the news.
Yeah. I feel bad that I'm not watching anymore, to be honest, because it should have been the best show because it did more viewers than Arrow, but Arrow is better in my opinion.
I mean, most things did better than Arrow. Now it's kind of
Stephen Amell, got your back, Stephen Amell. But yeah, there's nothing much else to say about this, I would say. With that, we're gonna go on to something where we do have a little bit more to say and some at least good things for the show, and that's gonna be Titans. Cast member of the Doom Patrol. Titans is a show that we both have been kind of talking good about it in terms of at least the casting / costumes, right? Like,
is it the entire thing being written by Jeff Johns?
Jeff Johns and someone else.
He's at least doing episode 5.
I don't think he's writing everything, but I think he is definitely like spearheading this with somebody else. So it's him and somebody else, and.
So it's going to be more in line with what people want, and probably more in like I feel like how the movies should be or would be under Jeff Johns.
I am not taking any Jeff Johns slander on my TL on my timeline. If anybody brings up Jeff Johns slander, you will get blocked because Jeff Johns is a great writer, a great idea man too. He's very creative. He's the guy you give a superhero that people think is lame. He makes it cool. I will not take the slander. It was not his fault Justice League sucked. And it does suck, for those people who are wondering. Blame Warner Brothers. So, everything I've seen of Jeff Johns, he's not perfect, but he's definitely not the reason Justice League sucks. So, just want to put that out there. But, yeah, Titans casts, what is that? Elastigirl, Doom Patrol's coming. I think it's 12 episodes, right?
I think it's a short one, yeah.
It's like 10 episodes, 12 episodes.
I mean, I'd imagine it will be a short season anyway, just because like it is a new streaming service. It's gonna have to be like small and cheap.
Yeah.
Just to not overblow your budget.
Yeah. There's also should be mentioned that episode 5, which this character, Last Steel Girl, will be making her debut, is the Doom Patrol episode, which I feel like people did get really excited about that when they heard Doom Patrol Titans. What? Like, I did see some people think like, oh man, this could actually be like a really great thing for everybody, like this TV show Titans, because it'll add Doom Patrol, which you don't necessarily see a lot. Like you have
people have been wanting Doom Patrol in live action for years.
Yeah, and now you're gonna have them.
Like, yeah, like why not do it in a Titans show? Like, look, have a team go up against a team, like.
And now you're gonna have it with Jeff Johns handling it, or at least partly handling it, because of course he has many duties. I remember. So
not as many anymore.
Oh, not as many anymore. You're right. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to bring up about this was the fact that we still haven't seen the other superhero suits and no teaser whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember this? We thought this was gonna be a thing where we're gonna be seeing all the other superhero costumes already, but we haven't. So
yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that.
It's a little weird, but I still trust. I have trust in Jeff Johns and that it'll be a good show. I think it'll be the right kind of tone for it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it'll be too wacky, like where the Flash turned into wackiness, pure wackiness, and that just couldn't handle it. I think it'll have the right tone for it. I don't know.
I think it'll be more the tone people expect and would want.
Yeah.
From these things,
it's
not going to be like the CW. It's not going to be like the movies. It'll be that good balance between the two.
Tell me, I have a good feeling about this show, to be honest. I just wish we saw some of the other suits already. It feels like it's about time. So, with that, and talking about kind of time going fast, I don't know where to go with this, but the Flash's Iris West suits up as a speedster. Now, I haven't caught up with the show, but I know everybody's hating on it because it's Iris and everybody hates on Iris from the show. Nobody hates Iris because Iris, the comic character, is loved.
No, it's the CW Iris.
Yeah. We're the Flash, Barry. You're not the Flash, clearly.
She's not lying now. She made herself the Flash.
Look, I saw that part of the episode. I didn't really like it because I was like, it really takes away from Barry being the Flash, but
no one likes it. It's like, what the fuck do you do?
And it's become a straight up meme, right?
It's like, how are you the Flash? You don't do anything. She's proved everyone. It's like you don't do nothing. It's like, well, I'm going to do something.
Look,
now.
She's had powers in the comics, so I'm not saying this is so stupid. She's had powers. I think this makes sense, but I haven't necessarily caught up with the show, so I don't know how she's getting powers, but the one thing is just that the fact that I hope they fixed her. I'm not entirely sure they did as a character. I feel like people are still talking, like saying that they need to fix that character, but well, that's what you're getting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this feels like when they tried to make Felicity something. It really feels like
you know what? I still had hope in Felicity all the way back then. She was good for what she was. Like the tech girl that was being used and didn't know and whatever. And
yeah, but they forced her into something more.
She should have left in season 2, to be honest, or after season 2. I think that would have been like a more better story for her. And then, the worst, literally the worst. Like, what am I? No, not the worst, but the kind of deepest Arrow's ever gone in terms of like just being terrible was when there was a nuke about to go off.
Just quickly, what season of Arrow did Felicity start to do something? Like when she put on the costume, or whatever it was.
I feel like 3.
What season's Flash on?
I think, or no, it might have been 4, so this one's 4 too. It makes sense, sorry. It's following the same formula.
Yeah.
But look, the worst Arrow has ever gotten was when there's nukes going off and Felicity was fighting with her family. I was like, yeah, there's kind of nukes going off. You might want to worry about the nukes. But look, man, for those of you who have kept up with the show, I would love to hear from y'all in terms of this. Are y'all hating it? Y'all liking it? I feel like everybody hating it, or at least what I'm seeing, definitely doesn't watch the show. So I'm curious as to what people who watch the show think about it.
It's strange because Flash is the most watched CW one.
Yeah. Which is so weird, and everybody hates it the most.
Yeah.
Why do people watch stuff they hate? I don't get it.
I mean, sometimes a hate watch is fine, but like there's a limit to how long you should probably go on for.
Yeah.
I don't think 4 seasons is healthy for a hate watch.
Well, yeah. So it's so weird to me how this is one of the most watched ones, yet people hate it. Arrow is probably not. It's probably the least watched one, and it's the best one in my opinion. It has better action, has better drama. From what I remember, Felicity went down, but I'm not entirely sure if that's still the case. But look, man, like I said, I'm curious as to what people who are watching the show think. Because like I said, I feel like a lot of the bad talk we're hearing is people who don't watch it, like us. I don't watch it, or I used to watch it, and I'm not sure this is a good idea. So I'm just very curious.
It's a terrible idea. It didn't work with Arrow. Why do it now?
It's true. So I guess with that, we're gonna leave it at that. I feel.
I know, but just quickly, one last thing. Why do they insist on forcing characters people don't like into a spotlight? It doesn't make sense to me, but that's...
Yeah, me either. It's low key I gave up on the shows, but I'm going back one of these days. Slow and steady, because it's hard to... There are 20-something episodes these seasons. It's hard to keep up with all of them. And while trying to keep up with all the other shows I keep up with, so it's like, can only like watch one or two. So, with that, going into something that you should probably be watching, and that's going to be Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animated show announced. I feel like this is going to be a good show. So good. It feels like a good animation show.
I mean, yeah, it's perfect for a little kids cartoon.
Yeah.
No, her book is essentially purely aimed at kids. It's got a certain charm to it. No.
Yeah, so yeah,
of course,
I feel the same.
People get mad about it, but no, it's good for it. Like, it's people think like Kamala Khan would be good for a show. Moon Girl is perfect for it.
It is gonna be on Disney Channel, of course, and I'm looking to see if there is a projected start date. It's just projected. It's still in development. So this is just like not necessarily sure if this is actually gonna happen, but this is like they're saying that it is in the works and they want it to happen, which I wouldn't be against that. Like you said, this is one of those shows that its kind of tone is good for an animated show, for a children's show, or at least. And
like I can imagine if they do it right and don't play up like the kiddie side of it, you could probably make it like a Dexter's Lab.
Ooh, who doesn't love Dexter's Lab?
I mean, exactly, because that's kind of like the vein that she's in, and obviously you've got the dinosaur effect in the whole like superhero thing.
Yeah,
but like it's you could definitely make it because she even has her own like secret lab. So.
Ooh. This could be interesting. Like, this could be something I would let my little cousins. I tell them about. Be like, hey, you should watch the show. Like, it should be like, it might even be a show that they give you like some lessons in it, type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a little black girl in science.
Yeah,
you're definitely gonna get that sort of thing.
And then you have Dinosaur, and it might be like afraid that it's a dinosaur, nobody's gonna like it and stuff like that, and she's like, well, you're different just like me, type of thing.
Oh yeah, they play that up in the comics.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm assuming it's gonna be like the main thing of the TV show. So.
And you get the wacky adventures because her human thing is she can switch minds. So you're gonna have the dinosaur in her brain in school, and it's all gonna cause mayhem. And
this makes sense for being wacky. I don't think the Flash does.
I mean, she's literally a cartoon character.
Yeah, the Flash is not a cartoon character. I mean, he is technically at some point, but
it's like you're never gonna. I doubt you'll ever see Moon Girl in a movie. So
this is fine. I wonder if it's the whole MCU thing or not. Probably not, right? It doesn't matter.
No, it won't be.
Nah, it doesn't probably matter. I feel like people don't care as much about like it's all connected anymore, right?
I mean, people still moan about it.
Okay.
But this could quite easily, and I'll be surprised if they don't do it. Crossover with Big Hero 6.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's getting a cartoon.
Look, man. Hey, if Phineas and Ferb could cross over with whatever they crossed over with, I'm sure this could cross over.
Didn't they cross over with like Jimmy Neutron or that?
I don't think that. That makes sense. No, Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossed over, which was one of the hypest things of our childhood.
I swear Phineas and Ferb did as well. They crossed over with something.
Well, I don't think it was Jimmy Neutron. I think that show was way out of commission before.
I don't know. That's different channels anyway.
Yeah. Different networks, but look, man, I think this is definitely a show a lot of people are gonna be watching. I think this is a good show, good idea. I feel, this reminds like DC has their DC superhero girls thingy. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but the one where they kind of like have the cartoonish for little girls, like Supergirl, Bumblebee's on there. I forget who else is on there. Wonder Woman's on there. I think Poison Ivy's on there. I think Harley Quinn. Like,
it's Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Bumblebee, Vixen's probably on there.
Yeah,
all those.
So it's like these type of shows are good ideas. Not only can they make money, but they're just going in the right direction when it's 2018. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like they make me laugh because you get all like the grown men crying. It's just like it's not for you.
Yeah,
like not everything is aimed towards you. You're literally crying about a little kid's cartoon.
Yeah, privilege, of course. But yeah, I have nothing else to say about this. This is just a good idea. It's heading in the right direction. I think this is gonna work out if it makes it out into TV. I don't think you can really go wrong with this, in my opinion. It just make sure you don't kind of 2018 it, which by that I mean like make it. I feel like a lot of these cartoons just get dumber and dumber, but that's maybe it's because I'm too old for it now, or is it?
Say like make it self-aware, and you'll be fine. But don't make it like Ultimate Spider-Man.
Don't dumb it down. Don't dumb it down for these kids, man. Like you gotta make it smarter so they grow with it. They get smarter.
I'd say like it's clearly going to be aimed at little girls in science, so you can't really dumb it down. You have to kind of take yourself seriously.
Very true. So. There's a lot of like, I can imagine there's gonna be like some Moon Girl scholarship type of thing for little girls and something like that. Oh, that's it's like the more I think about it, the more this is like a marketing like genius type of thing.
I think
with Moon Girl, I don't know. I know there's scholarships for like little girls in science in general, but Moon Girl could be the face of that.
I think they were doing something with Moon Girl.
Remember when Kamala Khan was the face of like all that type of stuff? She probably still is.
She still is.
Yeah, but
she's the face of the new generation.
It's true. So
Parent Miles.
You have anything else to say about this? I don't.
No, it's a perfect idea.
All right.
To be honest, like it's perfect property. So yeah.
With that, we are now moving into talking about our TV shows of the week, and with that, we're gonna be talking about The Gifted season 1. Because even though it's been like a month, 2 months, no,
it's been a month.
Yeah, been about a month. Like I said, hiatus. There was the Olympics as well, so this was, like Mitch said in the beginning, a perfect time to come up with the shows again. And look, we're working on this on the fly, so stuff might change in a week, stuff might not. Who knows? But The Gifted season 1, Mitch, I finished it recently. I got the time to finish it recently. You finished it like about a month ago, but
I rewatched it yesterday, the last back half. Anyway,
I will say I did end up liking the show a whole lot more towards the end, but you made the best point in saying that it's very disjointed.
It's Jekyll and Hyde.
I feel like I watched 3 different TV shows.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as 3. It's definitely 2. Like the first half, you can tell is that like Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
Like you have to shy away from everything, do as little as possible, and everyone's like from 2003, especially the acting. And then you hit episode 6, 7, and it's just like, no, here's everything. It's just like, why? Like, why wasn't this here from the start?
Yeah, like you start learning about the. Of course, this is a spoiler thing, so we're gonna just straight up spoilers. But before.
By now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
If you haven't watched it by now, I don't care about the show.
It's all on Hulu. Just if you haven't. But
it's in the UK.
Oh, there you go. I want to say that I did end up, like I said, really liking the show in terms of like the second half because of like what happened with the kids and how their powers, the Von Strucker kids, and learning how they're kind of the grandchildren. Is it grandchildren? Great-grandchildren.
Yeah, great-grandchildren, yeah.
The Von Struckers, Fenris, and all that. I thought that was a really cool thing, because I didn't know about that, to be honest. So...
They make a lot of pulls in this.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, I can't remember the dragon arm lady woman, but she's a dragon.
Look, having the Hellfire Club in here was a great kind of like... Oh, you're right. 2 shows, like, they had the Gifted plus Hellfire Club. Because remember, they wanted to make that show?
I was going to say, like, I said it when I first finished watching it. Like, it's a backdoor pilot for the Hell Club show.
Yeah, because they're probably gonna have it being like the quote unquote same universe, but they're just gonna have it in the past, and it's gonna be probably have the Von Struckers there, like the great grandparents and stuff like that.
I don't know if they're going to go that far. They probably will go that far back. But next season, we're finding out about the incident. I imagine like why the X-Men and everything aren't around anymore. So we're going to find out about that.
They do mention that like a lot, like towards the second half, more so than the first half of just the X-Men dropped them.
I'm certain the second half was written by different people.
Probably. It makes sense.
That's the point when Bryan Singer left.
Yeah, because then you have like... Because I felt like I started to like the kids more, even though the acting's still weird. I started to like the kids a little bit more in terms of like their story. Like I didn't care about their story. Like, oh, these are just two kids who their parents are trying to help run away. But then it's like, oh, their parents. I mean, their great grandparents. Like, and the dad was a mutant, but then got suppressed. And I wonder if it'll come back. I wonder if there's a thing to be able to come back.
I mean, they can't decide, or the dad can't decide if he's human or mutant anyway. Yeah. So, 1 minute, what was it? I can't remember when it was. I think the son says, like, the humans are after us, and he goes, "Are we after you?" And it's like,
well, you're a mutant. Yeah.
And then later on he says, "I'm a mutant." It's like, but earlier on in that episode, you said you were human, so which one is it? Yeah. Like, you can't play both sides. Yeah. I suppose you could, because he's theoretically at this point. But it's just kind of like, can you make up your mind? What are you exactly?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
So I guess the best way to kind of talk about this is we can do it in halves, and like the first half.
Yeah. The first half was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Didn't.
The first half when it had like, especially I think the third episode when it was the mom and I forget the guy's name, but let me see. I had to link up, but when they went into
or the other one.
No, the other
Eclipse.
one. Eclipse. When they were in the hospital and he got hurt and the mom was trying to like help him out and stuff like that. Or no, I don't think he got hurt, but they were looking for something and they faked an injury to get inside the hospital to get stuff for people back there. Because Blink, yeah. That I think it was the third episode with that happened because like she was being shown that mutants were being kind of put out to the side and discrimination and stuff like that. It was kind of that social aspect of it the first half, and then the second half was like, hey, we're a comic show. Let's do all this comic stuff.
It kind of just like remembered what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely did like those parts, but then when it got to like the Frost sisters and all these powers and stuff like that, I was like, yo, I'm down with this.
Yeah. Like I don't know, it's a weird show because it's not that well directed. It's not well acted.
No, yeah.
Particularly. Like, the dialogue's not great either, but what it's trying to do and what it pulls out is, like, the best part.
I think this is where it is. I think 1 through 6 was the more social aspect about it. You saw it, like, each episode had its own thing of, like, when you saw some of the racism and discrimination against the mutants. You even see later the purifiers and stuff like that, but it was more of a comic level. This one was more of the realistic level, the first 6 episodes. And I definitely did like those. I know you probably didn't as much, but I definitely did.
I just feel it dragged on for too long. Like
I know what you mean.
The first half should have been 3 episodes. Should have been cut in half.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's and a lot of the problems with the show as well is it's too busy setting up next season.
It is, right.
It introduces things that don't get paid off. Like, my biggest thing when I watched it at the start was they tell you Polaris can fly. She never flies.
That's true.
Like, there's about 3 times where she could have flown away. And it's just like, you're trying to play up the whole, like, I'm my daddy angle.
And we're assuming the dad is Magneto, right?
I mean, it is. She has a little purple amulet. That's the little thing.
Just making sure.
It's just little bits like that, and then the whole they introduced the dragon lady. I cannot remember her name right.
The dragon lady.
Yeah, she has that red arm. It's in one of the Polaris flashbacks towards the end of the season.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, we're not all what we're seeing. And she has like the red demon arm with claws. Like, she turns into a dragon in the comics. She's a proper deep cut. I just can't remember her name. She's clearly a setup for the second season. They name drop Frost about 1,000 times. They can't call them the Stepford Cuckoos. It's the Frost Sisters.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we get it. Emma Frost is probably out here somewhere.
And then the Hellfire Club, like, towards the second half, that's definitely for the second season.
Yeah, like, the colored guy comes in. It's just like, oh, it's him. Yeah.
And then what else are they saving for the second season? Like, they have that whole thing of, like, the one thing I will give this show that I liked is that it just seems like it hit the shows in good points in the sense of, like, this is a good show. Like, these characters going this way or this storytelling point, this aims to be a good show. You know, not maybe an amazing show, but it is, like, almost the definition of, like, this is a good part of the show. Like,
do you know what it feels like?
Huh?
Like, it should have been another 6 episodes long, but it feels like what the MCU's done in 3 phases. Like, you've had your more grounded bit, you've had your slightly push it further bit, and then you're gonna have your wacky bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels like it tried to do that in a season. It's just like, you should have maybe paid a bit more off, because the season doesn't pay anything off.
It definitely should have been the first season more realistic, and then the second season should have been adding more of the comic stuff, because like you said, it definitely did feel a bit disjointed. But like I said, it just feels, everything I watched in it was just like, this is the definition of a good show. Like, they have the point at the very end where the character has to make a choice that will affect the entire, like, group of characters in the world and stuff like that.
That was so cliche.
Yeah, to me that was like, it's cliche, but that is kind of like the trope, right? That's a standard definition of like, that's a good show. You did it the right way. It's like, it's just a good thing. Like I said, it's just good. It's just like basic good.
I also don't know how much of it is the Cuckoos. I'm not calling them the Frost Sisters. I don't know of that.
But like why Polaris did what she did. I feel a lot of it was them. I feel like they messed me up.
It's more like how they affect everything.
Yeah.
No, I don't trust that they're not manipulating everything.
I feel like they are manipulating everything.
Yeah. Especially the brother. Like, the definition of an edgelord. He's so funny.
Oh my god, dude. He really is the definition of an edgelord. Like, see, my thing was, I thought there was going to be a part where maybe he doesn't go down that route of being typical edgelord and be like, I have to be more angsty and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be like, what if the Frost Sisters or whatever, they're doing the good thing and yada yada yada. I thought he was gonna be more the good route, and I thought they were gonna flip it, and the sister would have gone down that.
I mean,
evil route.
that would have been an interesting way to take it, but you knew something was gonna happen the minute, like, he was like, oh, what, I'm a monster now? And it's like, no one said you're a monster, mate. Calm the fuck down. It's like no one's talking about you.
I love that you said that, because that's so for real. Like, no one said you did anything, bro. Like,
it's just like everything like the parents say, he gets really aggy over it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do people not know how to write kids?
He's so sensitive. His character.
It's I suppose it's the whole, like, I break everything I touch. I pull things apart.
That's why I said it's such a standard show, in that it's just good.
It's a standard show from 10 to 15 years ago. That's its biggest issue.
That's why I said I think it would have been more interesting if he would have flipped it, because I felt like everybody knew that the edgelord was going to be the kid, and he was going to be the one to be like, "Or we just got to fight back." What if it was the sister who wanted to fight back? I felt like that would have been different, because you do the whole flip thing, you know, where at the beginning she was not okay with fighting back, because it feels like that's a character progression, but they didn't necessarily progress that much. They kind of just stayed the same they were.
Yeah, they haven't changed at all since. Like,
they definitely need to progress a little bit more at this point.
And can we progress in the acting, because she is horrendous. She's like, there's a still from the first season of The Family Running, and she so overacts everything. And it's like, love, calm down. Like, you haven't got to be dialed up to 11 24/7. Like, everything is spoken through the teeth. And it's just like...
Look, I don't necessarily know a lot about Marvel Comics in terms of the Von Struckers, but I feel like if they hold their hands and they can tear everything apart, can't they rebuild everything back together?
I'd imagine so.
I feel like they only see the tearing things apart because they haven't necessarily learned how to control it. And see, that's where I thought it was going to be a little different, because the parents were like, all right, we're just going to test it, and we're not going to have you use it. I thought they were going to test it and then be with them and be like, we're gonna help you train yourself.
That's what I wanted from the show. I wanted more of like these mutants learning how to control their powers, and that would have solved the entire show.
Yeah, and
like you wouldn't have had a different ending. The little kid wouldn't have cut himself and everything. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like
I feel like it would have been more character progressions with the parents.
Yeah, because there was that part in the middle where they set up the whole linking powers thing, which is the rest of the season, and it's like, oh, we can combine our powers to do something. But then it's very one-dimensional, their whole power thing, because we can just destroy stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if they can do that, they can rebuild it. But that's just me assuming.
It's like, especially when her power is the direct opposite of his, because it just makes it come across that his is the only thing they can do. Like, sure, they have the space to fill in the fact that they could put stuff together again. Yeah. But it feels very much like, what's the point in her power? Because everything's just being destroyed.
And there was a point where they fight each other and they kind of cancel each other out. And to me, I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's when he's going after the FBI agents, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they had that, like, really, really bad fallback.
I thought the character of Kobe Bell, which is the FBI agent, or the Sentinel Service agent, I thought he went in too many different routes. Like, first he was bad, then he was like, it might be good. Oh, bad again. Oh, it might be good. Oh, bad. I was like,
yeah, they didn't really know where to put him.
Like, towards the end, right? He was like, all right, we're going to take these mutants, I'm going to take them back to prison because that's the right thing to do. Nope, we're going to kill all of them. I was like, okay. Like, literally happened in a second, bro. Like, I don't know. It just felt like that character specifically, the Sentinel Service agent, was just, like you said, they didn't know what to do too much with him, and they just kept pushing him in different directions. And he wasn't necessarily a character as more as just a plot device, in a sense.
Yeah.
So, it just felt weird. I hope they fix it. Like I said, this is just a standard show, I feel. It could have been better. We do like it.
Should have been. It should have been better. I don't think I can say I enjoyed it. Especially watching the second half again. I don't think I can really say I physically enjoyed the show. I like the things it has in it.
Yeah.
Like the whole Hellfire Club and all that MacGuffin stuff. Not MacGuffin. But, yeah, I like everything it throws at you, but I am excited for a second season just because,
me too.
You know, Bryan Singer's not on it. They could go in a completely different direction.
See,
it could have a completely different feel to it, which I kind of hope it does.
I low-key thought one of the parents was gonna die.
Yeah, that is the thing this season would have done.
They might save it for season 2 in terms of trying to, because like season 2 is probably gonna start off with the siblings broken, and then one of the parents dies, and it brings them together. Because that's kind of like a standard trope thing. When somebody dies, you get brought together. It's kind of like So I feel like that might happen. I don't know which one. I feel like if anything, the dad. But I feel like to make it different, make it the mom. Like, wouldn't that be something? Like, I feel like
the mom dying would be the obvious one.
Really? I feel like the dad would be because the dad would be the obvious one to kind of sacrifice himself. Because he seems like that type of character. But what if it was the mom? Because I feel like the mom doesn't seem like that type. Like, she's the one where she stays back.
I don't know. Because I feel like the mother's the one that the son connects to the most. Like, I feel like they've done a typical
it's true.
Was it daddy's girl, mummy's boy? I feel like they've done that.
It's true.
And that only a mother can bring down an edgelord.
An edgelord.
The mother knight.
But I would like to see that in a sense of just character progression for the two siblings, like, and how will they react to it.
I just like to see character progression.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I definitely feel at one point, but it's like that Magneto and Professor X thing. One of them's going to be on one side, one of them's going to be the other. That's
very much the angle they're going for. It's like, oh, look, these are going to be the new Professor X and Xavier.
Yeah.
No, Professor X.
I was like, Xavier, isn't that Professor X?
I'm on medication.
But I just don't know if they'll go as far as, like, the sister will work for the Sentinel Service and the brother is going to work with Hellfire Club. I don't know if they'll go that far. I don't think so. I feel like that could have been an idea, but I don't think they will. I think that's definitely going too far with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, I just hope they make it a bit more of an X-Men show. Like, give it that feel. Like, give us the school. I know they kind of gave us the school, but it wasn't really.
Can we have missions? Can we have more missions like episode 6 or 7 where they went on a mission to save Polaris? Like that was cool.
That episode where they had to do the whole truck thing.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and that was a good little showcase and use of power. And they don't really like. I think that's nothing. Show us what you can do with the powers. Don't make it generic. Like this, no, they can only do this, and they'll never do anything different with it. Like they do with Eclipse, like he only ever does one thing.
It's true.
And it's like give us some interesting uses for it, and change Blink's contact lenses because they're fucking.
Like
it's like how to cut off someone's acting ability. Give them thick green contact lenses.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm trying to think what else to mention about the show. I just, like I said, it was standard. Let's see. The Hound program thing was interesting to me because I didn't like necessarily understand it at first, and then I was like, oh, okay. So it's like just using them against each other and stuff like that. And then when they connected both of them, I was like, ooh, that's a good idea.
What you mean where they put like two mutants together?
Yeah.
Or handcuffs, yeah. Like even then, they had an opportunity to be really creative with powers there.
They did,
and it's like he's clairvoyant, he can track people, and then never saw anything amazing. It was just each one used their power differently, or like individually.
Yeah.
And you could have done something really creative with everything.
Like I would have, in terms of visuals for the show, you mean, right? Of how their powers are shown, like being creative with that.
Visuals and what they do, the girl has the bubble shield thing. You could do so much with it.
You could walk on it, couldn't you? Technically,
yeah.
You can put bubbles and walk on it.
Yeah,
or run on it.
The show sets up people can do interesting things with their powers because Polaris had the whole bit where she could fly. They had the whole bit with Eclipse where they made the Borealis, little Northern Lights.
Oh yeah.
They set these things up and then they never go back to them. It's really fucking
technically the girl used that bubble shield in a fight, like as a shield, and then push and stuff like that. Like I don't know, it just seems like you can do some interesting things with it. Like if she's on a roof, right, and they're on the stairs and they're about to get her, she just starts running on her shields like down, like I don't know, something like that.
They could do so much stuff with it. I mean, I get the fact the kids are new to everything.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Well, that shouldn't that mean they're more creative with it because they're kids? Like kids are more creative.
Yeah.
I feel.
It's like have the girl like run up him or something. Like I don't know.
And the kid, like the boy, he since he tears things apart, what can he do? I'm trying to think of something creative with him.
I mean, if he tears them apart, he can put it back together again.
It's very true, right? If he could tear things apart.
Yeah. Like.
Well, let's see. And if the girl can reflect stuff with her bubble, like a shield. What can you do with a shield? Like, what's the opposite of, like, not a sword? It can't be, I mean, you could make a bubble sword, technically, couldn't it? Like, if you just focused it. Because it's not necessarily she's making a shield. She's only, like, making, like, a little force thing with her bubbles. Like, she can technically maybe make it up to anything she wants, like Green Lantern type of scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why not? It doesn't have to be bubbles or the little, because it does look like bubble wrap.
Well, I'm gonna call it bubbles, right? But it doesn't have to be a shield per se. That's only her first instinct to use it.
It doesn't have to be in that pattern. Like why she at least make it so you can go around and it's not omnidirectional. Or make it omnidirectional, not just one.
That'd be cool if like she uses a shield. And then part of it comes behind, like, it like breeds out little pieces of it. Kind of like, I'm thinking of Green Lantern in a sense, where you have one construct and then it can still have, like, a little piece, like, move out to the back, but it's connected to that first one.
She is making something.
I feel like constructs, let's call it that, right? They're constructs in a way, but they're, and we're going to call them out of bubbles, even though they're not bubbles. I don't know what they are per se. But yeah, you're definitely right in the sense they could be more creative with these powers, and I would love to see stuff like that. And I think it would make it more fun. I think you get it by doing more of these missions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, like it's with especially with Blink, like they've really limited her where she just rips a hole. And it's like Blink has like little darts she can throw about. Like you limited yourself so much there. But that is what it is.
Don't know if it's a budget problem or is it just the writers were not. Or maybe there's two different writers, right, on two different halves.
I mean, probably it feels like there is. But like, if you can have her rip a hole open, you can have her throw a little blink, pun intended, a little blink of light.
You're right.
And it's I don't know, it's just little silly things the show didn't do.
Yeah, like being the creative side of it, that could have been like, well, this is the X-Men stuff we've been waiting for since, because in the movies we don't necessarily get a lot of the creativity. And the show could have been that. And Legion, I feel like you get that, even though it's only like really one guy.
I was gonna say, you would never have thought that this show and Legion are from the same people.
Yeah, it's so different.
It varies so wildly. It's crazy. Like,
are they from the same people?
Down to everything. It's Marvel Studios.
Okay, yeah, but I was thinking. I thought you meant more like creators.
It's not the same creator.
Yeah, Noah Hawley is a really great creator for Legion, and I'm looking forward to season 2, April 3rd.
Yeah. Is anything real?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of what we're talking about is a lot of stuff that could be fixed. I guess as we're ending it off, what are some of the stuff that we just really liked about it? Because for me, Thunderbird. I like Thunderbird.
He was too straight.
That's what I liked about him, that he was too straight.
He's the military, but it's like, loosen up, mate. For God's sake.
But I think I think the whole season should have been about him loosening up a little bit more. But still, I like that he was straight about it.
I should have put this character arc and make him loosen up a little bit. But,
well, real quick though, I do want to mention the fact that when they were talking to Esme, they're like, "We're not killing anybody. That's not how we do it." And then Mark was like, "And if you do anything, I'm gonna kill you." I was like, you literally just said you're not about killing anybody, but you literally will kill her if she does something bad. I don't know. I love that it's such a, like, it's not even this show, but other shows and stories have done that with their characters and saying, like, being so hypocritical in that sense of, like, we won't kill anybody. That is not our way. But we'll kill the bad guy, which is you. I was okay. Like, I don't know. I just found that very weird. I love catching stuff like that in shows, like in S.H.I.E.L.D. when they left those people stranded on Earth, which I mentioned to you again.
Did they leave people on Earth? I can't remember.
Yeah, okay, so real quick sidebar to S.H.I.E.L.D., but when they were about to leave with the helicarrier, and they're like, "Oh, we can't. The jet, there's no engines, or yada yada. So we're gonna have to go hide in the caves." And everybody else got off, and then they realized, "Hey, I forgot, this is the new version, so if we just push it up into space, the auto engines kick in, or the jets."
Oh, yeah.
And they left those people in the caves.
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like that, because it's like, it's not like, it's one of those things where this is like straight up fiction and not like keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's weird to say, but it's just, I love those kind of things because it's just funny to me calling them out. But yeah, like for this show, like that's like I said, Marcos say he don't kill anybody, but he'll kill Esme. And then one of the things I like I like Thunderbird. I liked his backstory when we saw his like flashback, and he was like a military guy, and then they're like, "Hey, we don't want you here anymore," and then he was saving people still. Like, I don't know, I just thought that was cool. I did like most of the like almost all the flashbacks basically, like with the bad guy who was doing the serums, stuff like that, and we saw his brother. Yeah. I did like that. I thought, everybody has their own story, so I did like the flashbacks to each of them. I don't know if we'll get a lot more in season 2. Maybe
well, we're definitely going to get a lot of flashbacks in season 2. Mainly of the X-Men and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Not of like the original 5. Or
I'm curious with you. How did the X-Men even go like away?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm curious.
Gonna find out.
Yeah.
Because that should have been the end of this season. Was finding out like what happened and then having that split the group into the Hellfire Club and the X-Men.
I'll tell you, the Hellfire Club in general just felt like a last minute thing.
It feels like that, but at the same time, the entire thing does feel like a backdoor season into a Hellfire Club show.
And you know what? Like, it would. For me, seeing the dad die because he promised them we're gonna go to Mexico, but what if they never get to go? Like that would be one of the emotional things, wouldn't it be? Like he promised them we're gonna go to Mexico, we're gonna be safe.
It depends how they act. Their acting could like really break it.
But it also depends if they bring up that type of storyline again, and if it makes sense. Like it has to be like your main priority, like to leave this character on like making a promise that he can't give. Yeah.
I do feel like though that because the whole divide thing, they're gonna do the like we're down on mutants, we need more, and then he's gonna get his powers back. Maybe through like an emotional turmoil. Maybe the mother will die.
Which would make sense. That's right. Yeah. I would like that actually. It makes sense if the mom dies and then the dad gets his powers back in a sense. Which they didn't say it was gone. The X gene. They said it suppressed it.
Yeah.
Didn't mean they destroyed it in any sense, which I don't think you can, because that would mean destroying like a person, right? If you destroy like a part of somebody's genes,
you're blowing out part of your DNA. You know?
Yeah, that would mean probably he's dead.
Something happened.
So that would be interesting. I would like some of that for season 2. Of course, more like of knowing what happened to the X-Men. What are some of like else you want for season 2?
I just hope we get like more X-Men-y, like not necessarily massive names. I don't need a Jean Grey or Scott Summers on here, but give me a name. Like bring in Armor. I think Armor would be a really good one to have on the show. And plus, you know, yes, she's a bit CG heavy, but at least it'll look different. Like you have some creativity there. I think that's kind of my biggest thing. It's just like give me more. Bring the X-Men more into it.
Yeah. I think for me, it has a lot to do with the kids' powers together, and I definitely want to see more of it. I think we will, but I definitely want a little bit more explanation about the past, or maybe that's being saved for the Hellfire Club TV show. Who knows?
I mean, this is the Hellfire Club TV show.
It's still a gift to me. But
I mean, it is, but that's what it was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It was originally the Hellfire.
I remember that. I definitely would like to see more of like the kids of like learning more like control, like their powers, like of what they can do. Like they can do more than just their original things. And I would hope the parents are helping them take control of it, which is what I always loved about Pa Kent.
My worry though is they're gonna have to have the obligatory. Oh, we have to come together and do something because we have to remind people we can still do this one thing. And it's
You don't feel that at some point there's going to be like for a couple episodes there's going to be a split where the mom and the boy go somewhere and the dad and the daughter go somewhere and they get split off?
Probably, yeah.
Because it's going to be that point where...
that feels very middle season-ish.
Yeah, where they get like split off and they have to find each other. They're finding their way back, and it's that whole thing of I always found my way back to you. It's that typical thing. But yeah, that's kind of it. Like in terms of what I think should happen. Yeah.
It had its moments.
Yeah.
The moments it had were really good.
I enjoyed it the second half, like binging it, like the last 6 episodes. I enjoyed watching those last 6.
It definitely watches better in one go.
Yeah.
Week to week, like I can't say week to week I'd have kept up with it because I didn't keep up with it.
I definitely think that's just a 2018 thing where we're so much better at watching things all in one go.
I mean, it's a combination of maybe that, and if something's boring as fuck, I'm not really going to pay much attention to it.
Okay, that's it. All right. With that, that is going to be it for the show this week. Of course, tune into next week where we're going to talk about the 100th episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I think that's this week, right?
No, it's the 99th.
99th. So we're going to talk about at least a road to 100th episode for S.H.I.E.L.D. Possibly some Black Lightning next week.
Black Lightning will have,
Jessica Jones kind of previews or thoughts of like what's gonna happen for season 2 most likely because season 2 is next week actually on the 8th. And I think that's gonna be pretty much it. And of course, tune into all the shows this week: film show Tuesday, gaming podcast Wednesday, main show Thursday, comic podcast Friday, patreon.com/comicbookcast, of course. With that, we'll see you next time.
Toodles.